I've been asked to talk a little bit about who God is calling the church to be in this moment. We have had, I think, a divine disruption by COVID-19, and it is causing us to sit back and reflect on how much was broken before. So when people say, oh, we can't wait to go back to normal, um, I get concerned because normal wasn't working for any of us, if you think about it. It certainly wasn't working for the church. While it was good for some of us, we were not extending the gospel of Jesus Christ in such tangible ways that lives were being transformed across our communities. So, my thought is who is God calling us to be? First, I want to acknowledge that in this moment, we will be a people who carry much trauma and grief. We've had our lives disrupted in jarring ways, bearing little resemblance to what they once were, and we have to mourn that. And that's something we in the church can give to our communities, that space. We've had major life moments, graduations, proms, and so much more that we were not able to live into. We've lost loved ones and have not been able to move through our usual rituals of mourning. And we can't emerge anew to the other side of this moment in healthy ways if we don't spend time grieving together. So what have we learned from this time? How will it inform who we will be as the body of Christ and the people called United Methodist for our communities? So I think there are several lessons we're learning from this. One is about our buildings. We sing, the the church is the people. Well, I think we're finally living into that truth. COVID-19 has helped us refocus what makes the church the church. It's the people and ministries, not the container that houses them. The church has finally left the building, and it is having a huge impact in ways that we had never dreamed before. Relationships is another area that we're learning. We've discovered what younger generations have been saying for years. We can have significant relationships online, and this enlarges our reach as a church, helping shut-ins and those who live outside of our communities be a part of the church. I had one pastor, I've had several pastors talk to me about what it has meant to be online and worship. They are meeting and finding out that truly the world is our parish, as John Wesley told us. They have people meeting regularly with them in worship from the Philippines and from Europe and from Latin America. I had one pastor say that there was a woman who lived across from the church, and she wrote to the pastor and said, I've lived across the street from you for 15 years. I've seen your signs. I've seen what you say you stood for, but I didn't believe it, and there was no way I was going to cross the threshold into your church because I was afraid of what I was going to find. But now that I could see you online, I'm realizing you really are who you say you are, and I want to be a part of you. That to me is exciting in the way we are extending our reach into communities we've never had the opportunity to, or never had the will to do so before. We're also learning that online worship is here to stay. We have learned some important things from online worshiping together. People desire more interaction. Our messages are shorter, and people are hungry for intimacy in worship. So I think that's going to transform when we finally can truly meet in person again. That's going to impact how we do worship. There's a big lesson in evangelism and mission. We are engaged beyond the walls of our church like we haven't been for generations. The reach of our churches as we share the good news of Jesus Christ has literally gone around the world, and we are embracing the Matthew 25 imperative like never before, because literally it's a matter of life and death. I have loved the creative ways our churches are engaging in ministry, knowing that there are children home alone because parents have to work, or there are parents who are stretched thin because not only are they working from home, but their kids are doing schools at home. There are shut-ins who are longing for communication from the church and are getting it in surprising ways. There are people who are hungry, who are not sure if they're going to keep a roof over their head, and the church is responding. So I am so excited about the way we are embodying the gospel for our time. William Sloane Coffin wrote something that I think is really spot on for our time. Most church boats don't like to be rocked. They prefer to lie at anchor rather than to go into the stormy seas. But that's because we Christians view the church as the object of our love instead of the subject and instrument of God's love. Faith cannot be passive. It has to go forth to assault the conscience, excite the imagination. Faith fans the flames of creativity altogether as much as it banks the fire of sin. These are some of my thoughts as we are in this COVID-19 era, and I look forward to hearing about the conversation you all will have around this. God bless you all.